Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. We are here for Xbox Season 2 of ACC Racing. Things kicking off now. Qualification already in progress. We're going to join these guys on track in just a moment. 16 drivers thus far today with a great start to the season. 2 hours in wonderful, sunny but cool today. Monza, Italy. No rain in the forecast. An ambient temperature of 11 degrees Celsius. The track's going to be a little cold, but it looks like it is sunny. Thank you for joining me. My name is Adam, and I welcome each and every one of you in here today. Kick off Season 2 of our Xbox ACC League here at Box Motorsports. We're going to get going, and again, you know, I just wanted to, before we jump into qualification, we're going to get those times to get ready for today's 2-hour race. I did want to jump in and share with everyone Season 2 kicking off today. The first race, Endurance at Mazda. Our endurance races are 2 hours long, 120 minutes, 2 mandatory pit stops. We will be back next week for Brands Hatch with a 1-hour sprint race, 7 p.m. UTC. That's at 2 p.m. Eastern. But we are going to jump over now and get right into qualification. Go and see where our drivers stand. Qualification now running for 1 hour prior to each race every week, giving everybody plenty of time. So let's get up to the timetables. Whoops, that is not what I wanted to do. Pulling the Bubs move here. As we said, 16 drivers at Monza today. Currently, JB Racer holding that top slot with a 148.1, but not holding a single purple sector. Frosty Harmony, one of our new drivers in the Ferrari 488 GT3 Evo, holding sector 3 with a 148.2, just off of JB's pace. Ranis, I think it is. Very small on the screen. Ranis right there with a 148.2 as well. So our top, really, I mean, we've got to go all the way down to the top 6 to see anything outside that 148 range. We're going to have some heavy and hard driving up front today as we walk our way back through Unlocked Shoe Paris. I am Stan Lee, is on track with a 149.7 right now. Yawning Soul waiver frame. Destrigot Master is here. Stay Solid. Namaste Maru. Bunch of drivers in here today, and great to see in our Xbox League. Lucky Lambert out there as well. Awesome to see everybody here and ready to go. The way we're running Xbox this season is a little bit different. So, you know, a lot of people don't know Xbox servers limited to 20 drivers. It's the most we can it's the absolute most we can have. You have no other option. That's the most that it can. So that said, what happens is what we end up needing to do is we have to limit the number of drivers to only 20. We had a lot more people that wanted to drive this season. Unfortunately, could not get registered on SimGrid in time. We had a full roster. So those guys can come in, join qualification with 15 minutes left before any race, and come out and race for the day. And that's really what we want to see. So Stay Solid, Namaste Maru, Lucky Lambert, all able to join in to today's race at Monza. We're going to really have a good time for 2 hours, though. It's going to be fantastic. I can't wait. Scientist Monkey in the chat. DT Bubs is here, the man himself. So great to see both of you guys in here watching today. Everybody knows Monza. Everybody knows Monza not only from sim racing, but from the real world. And if we bring it up just real quick, if you take a look at that map, let's get focused on where I want to go here. Let's drop down and take a look. Whoop. He moved on me. At Namaste Maru. So you see we come down the start, finish straight. Oh, and Namaste is going to kind of forget me here and leave me hanging because I wanted to catch him going down into T1. Oh, where is Lucky Lambert going into T1? So as you can see, after that long straight, got a very hard right-left chicane coming off the end of the pit straight. T1 at Monza is infamous for the show that it can become. Now, we had a driver's meeting before today's race. The hope is everyone's going to stay calm. We have a 2-hour race going today. There is no need to try and win it in T1. No matter where you've qualified, no matter where you're sitting, trying to win this race, the first lap and the first corner is only going to cause problems. So that said, we mentioned it during the driver's meeting. We want to make sure everyone has a great race today. Hopefully all of our drivers are able to go easy into T1 and not push things too far or too hard. But there it is again. That right-left chicane can be hell on wheels for people. That is for sure. As we come down a little closer to trackside. Right now, JB Racer holding P1 with that 148.1, but Frosty Harmony, Rainus, Outer Known, Kipster, B-Fife, and Unlocked Shoe all within that 1 second mark. So we're all the way out right now to P7, all within a second of each other. So great to see this many drivers on track today. Looking for some great racing over the next 2 hours with just 3.5 minutes left in qualification. With that 3.5 minutes left, I'm going to take a quick step away before the race gets started, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thank you so much for being here. As we get ready to go today. For 2 hours at Monza to open up Season 2 of Xbox ACC. I'm excited to be here today, to be honest with you. Start of a new season. I think it's always fantastic and fun to watch these guys come out. A lot of new drivers. I think we're going to have a great time. So we will be back in just a moment. And we will get ready for the race. Here as we roll down to that final minute of qualification, let's take one more look at that timetable. JB Racer currently holding P1, going to share row 1 with Frosty Harmony. Row 2, Rainus and Outer Known. Hipster back in the Audi this season. Nice to see. I'm an Audi fan. Love that R8. And we'll see what he can do with it. Kipster very stable in the Audi. Going to share row 3 with B-Fife, one of our faster drivers. B-Fife, though, moving to the Porsche this season. It'll be interesting to see what he can do with it. Unlocked Shoe. Now Namaste Maru moving up to row 4. Harris and Stan Lee going to share row 5 with Yawning Soul. And Destragot in row 6. Lucky Lambert and Waver Frame going to share row 7. With Master and Stay Solid in row 8. Wait for things to kick off. Qualification comes to an end and we get ready for 2 hours at Monza. While we wait, real quick, folks, don't forget tomorrow, the final race of our PC ACC League. The Inception kicks off tomorrow at 8 p.m. UTC, 3 p.m. Eastern in Barcelona for a standard race. 45 minutes, 1 pit stop. We will be here to cover that for you. So many qual laps before a 2-hour race, going to be tough. You know, here's the thing, Steadfast. We didn't look to make the qual 1 hour so that folks could go out and drive for an entire hour, right? I think it was more about giving everyone space, do what you're comfortable with. I know, as you know, myself during qualification, after about 6 or 7 laps, I'm not getting any faster. That's where I'm at, is where I'm at, and it's really not going to work for me. So personally, I would not sit and qual for a full hour before a 2-hour or even a 1-hour race. You know, but these guys that want to, I think, you know, 15, 20 minutes was just too short, depending on the track. By giving everyone a full hour, I think it's plenty of time to go out, do some laps, maybe change your setup, take a break, right? If you want to stay on track, take a break for 15 minutes and then come back and see if you can set a faster time. It's more, you know, real world, I guess, for me, is what's important. As we see ambient temperature at 16°C, we're pretty close to what real world conditions are. 10% chance of rain in Monza today. So hopefully stays clear for our drivers throughout this race. Wait for everyone to drop on track. We should have full formation lap as well this season. Xbox servers notoriously sketchy when it comes to setting them up and trying to keep them stable. So hopefully everything works as it is supposed to. But so far, so good. And in the testing I performed during this past week, the server looked like it was steady and ready to go. Again, as you see, JB Racer, Frosty Harmony, very close right there. Less than 1/10 of a second separating them. Rainus and Outer Known going to be right there. Outer Known very fast. Hopefully can rein in that Porsche. We've seen trouble with him in the past where he's struggled at times, depending on the situation. But hopefully, with the Porsche, going to be something he's able to keep under control. And we will have that full formation lap. There you see it, 3:06 p.m. 2-hour race today. We're in Monza, Italy. Thank you all for joining me. Good night, 11. Thank you so much for being there. Is this driver swap? No, there will be no driver swap. This is individual drivers for 2 hours this season. Y'all should stay tuned, though. I don't know if you noticed on the schedule, but we will be looking here in the mid-season of Season 1, or I'm sorry, of Season 2 of our Xbox League, running a 4-hour spa endurance race with a 6x multiplier on time to get the full 24 hours in. That will be a team race. Check the Discord. You will be seeing announcements regarding that and setting up your teams soon. One of our great stewards is actually on track today, Namaste Maru. Puff Manic in the chat. Why can I not go back to garage yet? Oh well. We will stay focused on Outer Known again. Switching to that Porsche this season. fall into formation lap. Again, 2 pit stops required for this 2-hour endurance race. Tires and fuel during both. Again, pit stops are going to be pretty equal for everyone, right? Pit in, 30 seconds, pit out. But where's your strategy at Monza, right? Are you going to undercut, get it done early in that first hour, try to stretch those tires out to go deep into the second hour? That's where we're going to have to watch the strategy and what these guys come up with to make those pit stops play to their advantage as much as possible. The Kipster there, E5 in his Audi. E5 also okay. Porsche, they're going to team up for the Enduro. No idea. It'd be great to see. I'm curious to see what kind of teams these guys come up with. You know, I'm sure some drivers will have to switch vehicles to get everybody lined up. But again, we'll be putting that announcement out this week. And any Xbox drivers out there who normally can't join because of other commitments, you know, keep an eye out for that, because you have an option to, obviously, you know, just because you're not on SimGrid doesn't mean you can't join that Enduro race. It's a team race. We'd still love to have a full grid, which would mean, you know, 20 teams, 40 people. I think it'd be fantastic to put that together, a full 24 hours of racing at Spa. You know, the real world equivalent of that is a fantastic spectacle every year. And I think being able to emulate that here at Box 3 Motorsports is fantastic. So just keep your eyes out for those announcements. Drivers now heading through Ascari. As we get the green light, we will switch cameras, be able to change drivers and get our focus right up there at T1. Again, hopefully everyone looking to keep things calm in the T1, knowing they've got 2 hours to make up position as we start falling into double file. Get ready for the start of today's race. Lucky Lambert and someone else both starting from the pits. We'll be able to see that in just a moment. Nice mix of manufacturers in our top 10 today as well. Ferrari, Lamborghini, Aston, all up there. Audi. And we are green at Monza. Let's go for the next 2 hours. We head down into T1. Outer Known getting the jump right early. We've got a bump already, and Outer Known is off the track, and T1 is not looking healthy thus far. Oh my. Lucky Lambert stay solid starting from the pits. That may have been a good idea. Looks like Outer Known struggling in his Porsche. JB, however, falling back as well. Oh my goodness. As we wait for the timing screen to catch up. JB Racer falling back very quickly. Outer Known still stuck on track, but Frosty Harmony, it looks like, has taken up P1. Classic T1 Monza, you are not wrong. I was hoping we would avoid it today, but it happened. Hipster currently running P2, I believe. Again, the timing screen has not caught up, having Outer Known up there in first until he crosses the timing line. And there we go. It has happened. So Frosty Harmony comes out of T1 in first with Kipster in second. I'm sorry, Paris in second. Namaste Maru right there in third. Come back, take a look at waiver frame with unlocked shoe right behind him. You know, unfortunately, this is the sad part about the Xbox side is that the hooks are there. The API is there, but you cannot hook in. You cannot hook in to be able to do replays and all these things. And it's just kind of sucks because I'd love to be able to go back and see it as we watch. Unlock shoe now coming up on the back end of waiver frame very quickly. We're going to go side by side into T1. That Bentley takes up a lot of space, but he's got the inside. Unfortunately, not able to get up on waiver frame yet. A little nudge there as we come back through. Everybody's stacked up through the chicane. Stan Lee able to move his way up in his Porsche. Now going to chase waiver frame down. A lot of defense being played as positions change back here. Do these longer races count for more points? No, they do not. Stan Lee taking the inside. The point scale we're using is actually the SimGrid point scale, so it's reflective of however many drivers there are. It divides them into thirds, and we'll be figuring all that out. Unfortunately, I'm not sure we'll be able to use that because of the reserve drivers, so we'll have to see how that works exactly. Outer Known now into the pits. No doubt very frustrated. We look, another battle back here between JB Racer and Unlock Shoe in his Bentley. JB able to pull it out through Ascari, heading towards Parabolica now. But Frosty Harmony, if we take a quick jump up front, Frosty Harmony able to pull out of the mess that was T1. Paris T32 as well, able to jump up there in the Audi with Namaste Maru chasing him down. Unlock Shoe now falling off quickly. With B-Fife right there taking the inside into T1. Fife, you know, Fife is one of those drivers who's very, very astute, and a little nudge there. But one, I gotta figure Unlocked was almost to a dead stop. That's a little hard to put on Fife. But my point there being is we watched coming into T1, Fife dropped back, slotted in behind Shoe because he knows he's got 2 hours. He's got plenty of time. There's no reason to push this, and just did not have the position he needed to be able to jump up. As Stan Lee now with JB Racer right behind him in the Ferrari. Or, I'm sorry, the Lamborghini. JB able to sneak by on the inside of Stan. Kipster and Rainis now both into the pits as well. More than likely damage from that T1 incident we saw. Stan Lee under pressure from Unlocked Shoe. Take a jump back though. Master and B-Fife. B-Fife going deep into the braking zone to get ahead, and there it is, right through Parabolica. Able to jump ahead of Master very, very smoothly on the outside. So B-Fife already putting that Porsche to work. Lap 1 incidents notwithstanding, he's looking to move his way back up as quickly as possible. Let's take a look at JB with Stan Lee and Unlocked Shoe on his tail. Stan Lee back after a hiatus. Great to see him back on track in his Porsche. That's signature red. Paris in second with Namaste Maru on his tail. And as Steadfast says, you know, taking a look here real quick, let's take a look at Waiver Frame and JB. JB on the march, as Steadfast said in the chat, he wants that P1. He's already pushed himself into P4. Working his way forward. Namaste Maru going to be his next target. Got a 6-second gap, but plenty of time to make it up. Frosty Harmony continues to open up in front with a clean track in front of him. 9 seconds now, the lead. As Paris is continuing to have to play defense, this is going to give JB an opportunity to catch up very quickly. You know, that 6.5 second gap, the more that Namaste has to fight with Paris, the slower their laps are, the more opportunity JB has to get to close that gap as quickly as possible. Waiver Frame now clearing Stan Lee. Stan closing in into T1 though. Oh, Stan struggling into the wall. Not sure why, but unlocked shoe quickly coming in on Fife. So just take a quick look. Reynes and Outer Known both clearing that first mandatory stop while they were in the pits to fix repairs. Hipster, however, made the stop but then did not clear. So he'll be going in at least 2 more times as we watch B-Fife and Stan Lee. Porsche versus Porsche. Down into Ascari. Fife over the curb, allowing Stan Lee to get a little bit of space. Unlocked shoe coming up now in his Bentley. Fife no doubt frustrated with that though. Outer Known in clean air, so keep an eye on him for later. Yeah, I have no doubt. I mean, listen, I just saw a notification come up from Discord, Outer Known posting a message apologizing. I think he had some issues going into T1, but he's a very speedy driver, man, and don't think that him in P16 right now means he's not going to move his way up. He's already cleared one of those stops, so when everyone else heads in, he's going to be able to stay out. Stan Lee now with Waiver Frame. Waiver Studberlin on the out of that corner and looking to give Stanley an opening. Stan get the inside. Unlock shoe now applying pressure along with B-Fife. How tricky is this going to get with 4 of these drivers now stacked up? Waiver Frame leading the pack. Unlock shoe now on the inside of Stan Lee, able to make that pass. B-Fife sneaking around as well. Stan with a lot of damage on the side of that vehicle. That looks like could be from that wall hit we saw him take earlier. Look now, Fife on the back end of Unlocked Shoe going into Parabolica. Now both of them tightening up on waiver frame going down into T1, and let's see who gets the inside, because that Bentley straight line speed is going to give Unlocked the advantage down the straight, but can he take it on the inside of T1? Everybody playing it very safe as we go 3 wide coming through Curva Grande. B-Fife, one of our strongest drivers, very consistent, very fast, gets ahead of this pack now and will lead Unlock Shoe, Stanley, and Waiver Frame, Mary Chase. Waiver Frame and Unlock Shoe trading door paint. As we watch Stan Lee waiting for his opportunity, I feel, to just bounce on one of these guys when they make a mistake. Fife now open air in front of Fife. Again, B-Fife, one of the more consistent and fast drivers that we have, right? He's a guy that really brings together the two things you need. He's not just fast, right? A lot of drivers can go out and hot lap all day and be the fastest guy because they're by themselves. No one around them. They're able to just drive their lap and set record times, and they're super fast alien speeds. But the minute you put them into traffic, suddenly they're not that fast, or they're not that good of a driver. It's one of the things I've talked about that in the past I've done a video on, is of how to be a good driver, not a fast driver, because I'm not a fast driver. I aim to be a good driver. Fife is one of those guys that brings that together 100% to be both, right? He's very fast, and at the same time really can drive consistent and drive in traffic, and we see that now with him getting himself back up into 5th place. As I think I'm joined by Mr. Chief Blaze.
Yo.
What's up, man? Do you need me to push this to Discord so you can see?
Push what to Discord?
The race.
Oh, no, I got it pulled up on the Xbox.
Okay.
I just don't have any sound. It's not a big deal, though.
Stan Lee now falling, but getting ahead of Waiver Frame. Good Night 11 says it in the chat. Bye-bye, Fife. And there it is. Already 2 seconds ahead of Unlocked Shoe as those guys continue to battle back there. Harris has now opened it up a little bit over Namaste Maru, currently running in 3rd. 1 second. But right here, the guy that got out clean in the first lap, Frosty Harmony, now leading by 13.4 seconds. I really wish we could go back on a replay and watch that, but that's not something that's possible on Xbox. As you can expect, Chief, T1 lap 1 of Monza was a bit of a show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was some trouble. But as things start to spread out a little bit, let's take a quick look. Paris T32 running in 2nd. Namaste Maru, one of our reserve drivers, jumping in, currently running in 3rd. JB Racer wanting to get himself back up there at least to a podium, if not P1. Now only 3.2 seconds behind Namaste. So JB pushing very hard to see how close he can get. B-Fife now in P5 as the spread starts to happen, but Monza's very short. We're going to still get to see some racing here today, folks. Don't think it's over. 1 hour, 44 minutes left to go as we race endurance in Italy. Thank you, everybody, for joining me today. Chief, thank you for being here.
Yeah. Good old Monza.
Good old Monza. That's right. Gotta love it. Namaste Maru now closing that gap very quickly. 1 second, Huff. We'll bring those up. Oh, it's Xbox, man. I don't even know if I can show those on the timetables. Harris going wide. Oh, what? Harris now sliding. Wow. That gave Namaste Maru the opening, and JB Racer as well. As Paris slows down to get control of that vehicle, we're going to see JB come up next. So Paris pushing hard, unable to keep control through Ascari. Gives up 2 positions to Namaste Maru and JB Racer. Ruin, thank you so much for being here. Yeah, let's take a look. Yeah, that's the thing, Huff, is we don't get to see that, but let me give you a quick look at qualifying here today. That was our qualifying of 148 from JB. Frosty Harmony were right behind him.
Dang.
Look at Namaste driving and chatting at the same time. Yeah, he's pulling some palm tree oil energy. Ruin, how are you? No, Frosty Harmony got out clean in lap 1, and that's what's allowed him to just open it up. He's had clean air the whole race so far versus having to fight somebody. Namaste, JB Racer, Fife. Fife especially, though, is pushing up hard. Got caught up in the action in T1 and now able to get himself back up into P5 and in the Porsche this season. But Stan Lee in his Porsche. Yeah, he's in his Porsche. Stan Lee in the Porsche. He's back in the Porsche, of course. Hipster in the Audi, but Paris keeping the Audi in the top 5 for me.
We got a Bentley. Gotta love the boat.
Ruin, the race is going great. Thank you so much for stopping by. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate everybody being here. We settle in for another hour and 40 minutes of GT3 racing at Monza. Chief Blaze on mic with me today.
Did Outer Known get caught up in that stuff? Is that why he's last?
I think Outer Known might have caused some of the problems. If you check the Discord, he sent a message while he was in the pits. I didn't get to see it, read it myself, but I think he... I tried slotting back in on the brakes and misjudged where we were into turn 1. He says, Molson, I took your turn 1 message to heart and I can't believe I did that. So yeah, I think he's taken ownership of some of what happened there. And again, on Xbox, it's so difficult because I can't do reviews. You know, I can't do a replay or anything like that.
Right.
So it kind of sucks that we can't go back and take a look. But he's owning it, right? Like, it happens to everybody, and he's definitely owning that, so. Again, Namaste Maru, one of our reserve drivers, currently running now in 2nd. As we'll wait for the split time to come in behind Frosty Harmony, who, again, Frosty, able to get himself clear, and not caught up in any of the mess, and it's put him in 1st place and able to just run hard now. Namaste is going to be clearing back markers soon, but that gap opened up to 15.2 seconds between P1 and P2. Wangle Snatcher's in the chat. Thank you so much for being here, man. It's been a while. It's been a minute since we've heard from you. I saw you join the Discord today. Good to have you around, and this is where all the cool kids hang out. That's why I'm here. That's why Chief Blaze is here. Guys like JB Racer, Namaste Maru. Stan Lee is the coolest in his Porsche. Back in that iconic red that he drives. I like having Stan Lee back on track, Chief, I gotta say.
Yeah.
Just a good guy. Nice to have out there, and solid driver. And just someone who doesn't take himself too seriously. Obviously gets frustrated like the rest of us, but doesn't take himself so seriously that it ruins races for himself or other people, you know?
Well, and I told him if he didn't come back for season 2, I was gonna break his kneeccaps, so I think that's why I came back.
Is that what did it? That's what
Yeah,
brought
I
him
said,
back?
hey, I
Okay.
noticed you haven't been showing up. You better figure that out. And now look at it. He's back.
Awesome. That's what we need, man. Is good
Now we
drivers,
just
good
need
people
Max
around.
back, and the whole crew will be back together.
If we could get Max, back, I don't know. I thought Max was gonna drive for season 2, but then I didn't see him. So
I think he was saying he's a little bit like you. He's just like a little burnt out on the competitive aspect. So
gotcha. Okay.
Driving offline for fun. So
Yeah.
but I get that. That's mostly what I've been doing lately too. So
The thing is like with ACC and driving in the league, for me, again, I get to the point where I get nervous about ruining someone else's race, not necessarily even my own, right?
yeah.
I know these guys practice all week, and I don't want to screw somebody else up. But that's where, and you and I don't know if we've talked about it. That's kind of where I like iRacing. And
Yeah.
I never thought I would. What I like about it is these races just start and just start and just start and just start, and you just join in, and it's with randoms. And sure, that means there's more danger that you're going to get waffled by somebody, but I don't have the same nervousness that I do in a league race. So that's where I've been finding my fun. Well, not lately because I don't have a wheel, but
Right.
once I have my
And
wheel back.
They run every hour, so if you have, hour and a half to play with, you jump in, you can practice for that race, and you get ready to
Yep.
run it right away. You don't have to wait until Sunday, so
Yep,
which
absolutely.
is good and bad, as you said.
Yeah. It is. It can be both. So again, as things calm down a little bit, there it is. That's the Discord link, folks. Box 3 Motorsports. If you'd like to join us, both PC and ACC. PC and Xbox ACC Racing every week. New season of Xbox just starting. Don't let that shy you away. We do have a full grid, but you're still welcome to join in as a reserve driver. We have fun races every week. A lot of the PC guys go out and do public lobbies. I don't know. Huff in the chat can say for sure, but I'd say at least 3 to 5 nights a week those guys are in pubs. So if you're a PC ACC driver, they have a lot of fun. I have joined them once myself, not to race, but just to gab at them while they're racing because I was stuck up late on work stuff. And those guys have a lot of fun. But also excellent to see the jump in our Xbox League. Now 16 drivers on track today. I think we'll be able to maintain this throughout the season. Yawning Soul and Lucky Lambert now tightening it up. Down into T1. Lucky Lambert getting right on the tail and going to cut to the inside. We're going to go side by side. Drew Redifilo and Lucky Lambert able to pull that out.
And Fife is right on the back of Paris now.
Yeah, he is.
Closed it all the way down to a 10th.
So B5 closing it quickly. Taking it to the outside now as we come down. Harris having to tuck it in that Audi, get behind Fife. So Fife getting with a very clean pass on the straight. Carrying a lot of speed into Ascari and able to pull it out down the straight, heading towards Parabolica now.
And he is gone.
That's the thing, man. Look, again, we got so many fast drivers. Like, look at Frosty Harmony right now, right? Frosty Harmony's running out front. Didn't get hung up in the lap 1 troubles. 16 seconds over Namaste Maru. But Frosty Harmony is one of our new drivers now, and this is not to discredit Harmony or to say anything negative about it, but we don't know what Frosty's like in traffic, right?
Right.
Where if I look at someone like Fife, because he's been racing with us for so long, Fife just rolls, and he's fast and he's clean. You're not going to see, this is not a guy you're going to see causing incidents on track, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there have been some, but I don't even like remember one.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm like, yeah, I mean, we all make mistakes, right? But at the end of the day, this is one of those guys that you're not going to see this happening to very often. Now, I'm starting to wonder if Paris is struggling a little early to be struggling with tires, but now unlock shoe up on the back end as we get another battle here. Now, Chief, you're a Bentley driver, so you got to tell me. Maybe I'm wrong, but that Bentley I know has great straight line speed. I would think Monza is a track built for the Bentley.
Yeah, pretty quick around here.
I would just think so. And it'd be curious to see how he catches up on Paris here in these straights. I mean, he's tightening up on his bumper now.
Oh.
So a nice long straight here. Unlock shoe gonna look to make this pass coming down the straight.
Close it up, yeah. Oh,
Unlock shoe to the inside.
Not quite close enough to dive in the inside like that, but
yeah, not quite. But now we're coming down into T1, and that, again with that Bentley straight line speed,
he should really, yeah.
He's gonna have the inside.
Yeah.
And there he's able to take it.
Might have had a little bit easier of time if he would have got up in the draft, and then he could have just used that to slingshot around. But
yeah,
got it done anyways.
Able to make a nice clean pass. Unlock shoe now bumped up into 5th as B Fife runs in 4th. JB Racer still sitting in 3rd now, 3.7 off Namaste Maru. We'll watch as that continues to tighten up. As I watch my neighbor's dog wander around in front of my windows. But again, Paris has been running really strong since the start of this race half an hour ago, and all of a sudden lost 2 positions. So, you know, again, some of our drivers this season are new. We've had a lot of joiners for the Xbox League. So over time, sitting from this position and watching these guys, you have to get to know them and learn, are they fast, are they not, etc., right? I don't know Unlocked Shoe enough to know, is he a fast driver that is going to take somebody like Paris? Because Paris, is another new driver this season. Not someone I'm used to. So we'll have to see how this plays out throughout Season 2 on Xbox Racing. Shut up, Blue. Why do I have to get harassed by Blue in the chat? That's what I want to know.
Because he ran out of batteries to sell.
Probably snowed again 3 inches, so he had to stay home. Destra got now into the pits. Gonna look to clear one of those mandatory pit stops. So Outer Known's still running in 14th. Now we've lost 2 drivers since the beginning of the race. Not sure who dropped out. I would encourage all drivers, whether you're in the Xbox League or the PC League, do not leave races. You know, the way these things are scored, there are points on the table every race for you guys. So I understand you get frustrated. I understand even parking in the pits and letting it sit, but just dropping out means no points because we take the points off the end of the race, not halfway through or not at the beginning when people are there. So unfortunate now that we've had to have 2 drivers drop out. Hopefully people that didn't get too frustrated, or maybe they just disconnected and had connection issues.
Also a possibility.
JB Racer slowly closing the gap to Namaste Renew. It's brought it down by about 4/10 so far. We'll have to continue to watch that time, currently at 3.3 seconds, and see if it gets any tighter. Namaste having a great race so far in the McLaren. One of our reserve drivers, one of our stewards at Box 3 Motorsports. Waiver frame now under pressure again from Lucky Lambert. Aston versus Aston. He is coming down hard into waiver frame. Going to take the outside line into T1. Can he outbrake him enough? And no, waiver frame still on the inside. And a bump. And we're going to push through the corner. Lambert able to jump out ahead of waiver frame. But both drivers trading door paint. That looks like a racing incident to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
And again... Yeah, but this is why I say, look, what you see on stream and what people report for incidents are two different things.
Right.
To me, that looked like a racing incident. They were both driving hard. They bumped doors. Lambert just happened to get lucky coming out a little quicker, but they both had to take the cut, right? So
right.
We'll have to see if there's an incident report on that. Dunn in the chat looking to stir it up by saying, did waiver brake check? I don't know. I'm not going to make that judgment from here. That's for sure. But given how they're driving, I would say we're going to see these guys battle again. They've been very close throughout this race, so hopefully we'll see them come back together.
And Fife has closed down about a second on JB Racing.
Yep, just going up to look. He is tightening up on JB very quickly. There is smashed styrofoam all around this track. Is that typical Do the stewards just scatter styrofoam before the beginning of the race because they know it's going to happen anyway? Harris T32 now into the pits. Don't forget, folks, we're back tomorrow. PC ACC Racing in Barcelona, 8 p.m. UTC, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. We will get started. Be the final race of our PC Assetto Corsa Competizione League. Season 2 starting very soon. Actually, the PC guys have a lot of things going on with some casual races during the week. Season 2 kicking off, as well as an endurance series that will be coming to the PC side. And for Xbox Racing, we're back next week for a sprint race, 1 hour at Brands Hatch, 7 p.m. UTC, 2 p.m. Eastern. I'll welcome you all to join me here, along with whoever might be able to join, like Chief Blaze.
Yes.
B5 now down under 2 seconds behind JB Racer. So obviously Fife, what's that?
Oh, I was gonna say 1.5 seconds. Damn.
That's what I'm saying. They're closing right up now. We're gonna keep focused right here on B5 because he is closing that gap very, very quickly. And it's interesting to see again. He switched to the Porsche, so now we're seeing he's not a one-trick pony, right? I mean, this guy can change cars and still be able to just get great pace out of something that typically a lot of people struggle with. JB in the Lamborghini now down to 1.3 second gap. Lucky Lambert now into the pits. Interesting little fact about JB. This guy's sitting currently P3, about to be under pressure from B5 as that gap closes down to 1 second. But I gotta say, JB, a controller racer, still, as far as I know.
Damn.
Guys, and let me tell you something, like in testing the server in the last week, like I sit here at my computer and I stream the Xbox over just so I can test the server to make sure settings are right and everything's good for the race. So I'll go out, you know, it'll start, you know, the free practices we watch. JB now into the pits is not going to play the fight with Fife, giving Fife P3. JB said, you know what? I don't want none of that.
Yeah.
So JB, apparently. Lucky Lambert, Master, and Kipster now all into the pits as we watch. These guys are going to start clearing those mandatory stops. But as I was saying, like, in testing the server, I just want to test it. I just want to make sure things work, right? So I don't have a wheel right now because I had to send it in for repair. So it's interesting. I had to race on controller. I don't know how he does it. Because all you do is touch the stick a little bit and the car just whips to the right or left. Like it's just gone. I'm having to use the bumpers for shifting because I don't want to change my settings, you know, to an automatic. So like all this stuff. So I was happy when I set like a 2 minute 30 seconds at Monza just to test the server. it was that bad. It was 2 minutes and 30 seconds versus the 148s we've seen today. But just goes to show JB very strong racing on a controller. I don't know if there are tweaks or things he's done, you know, to the settings in game that allow him to do that. But very strong driver for someone who doesn't yet have a wheel set.
Yeah, absolutely.
Frosty Harmony now stretched out to 19 seconds over Namaste Maru. JB dumping back out now and back on track, coming out of the pits in 8th. But everyone ahead of him still having to clear a pit stop.
And Fife into the pits. He will
counter move. So unlocked shoe. And again, I call these guys dark horses only because they haven't raced with us a lot. They're not names we know. You know, I can go through this list of drivers we see on the screen right in front of us right now. And I know some of them because we've raced with them in previous leagues and now they've joined box 3. Others are new and we welcome them, but they're dark horse, right? Like we don't know how fast these guys are, how good of drivers they are. So it's always interesting to me when we have these new drivers in to learn about them as the season goes on and get to know more. So Unlock Shoe obviously doing very well today. Frosty Harmony doing very well. Yawning Soul is someone I don't think we've seen but for 1 or 2 races in the past, along with Paris, Master, and Destrigot, one of our new drivers today as well. And a shame because I think Waiver Frame now into the pits, but Destrigot I think got hung up in the T1 incident, so...
It's a little light hazing, you know?
Yeah, you could call it that. Or he was just like, well, shit, this ain't no better than a public lobby. What am I doing here? But if we look, like Lucky Lambert decided today, you know, before today's race, I'm going to go ahead and start in the pits and now finds himself in P10 already. One of those pit stops cleared. So that strategy obviously working well for him. As we see B5 now back out on track in 6th. Frosty Harmony now our race leader heading into the pits. Giving Namaste Maru that opportunity to get on by, and he does.
And that's another thing is, I mean, we know pit stops can change races, so we don't know, you know, for the new guys.
Yeah,
they have good pit stops. They get in and out. Because I know, especially on Xbox, it was so hard for me to get my pit stop perfect. So.
No, absolutely. To land that thing 100% so that everything just works, it's not easy on Xbox. Unlock Shoe into the pits as well, giving Stan Lee an opportunity to get on by. But Namaste Maru Stan Lee still having to clear that first mandatory pit stop. Chief, I'm going to step away for just a minute.
Okay.
Before I do, however, we're going to go on board with one of our drivers. Go on board with... Actually, you know what? Even better. Let me check it because I don't want to just throw it up there. But Fife said he would be streaming today.
All right.
Excellent. So we're going to dump over to B5 stream real quick. We'll watch him race, folks. As I take a quick step away. And I will be right back.
B5 is coming into some traffic behind, excuse me, Outer Known, who is his brother. No, it's always a fun battle to watch. So he'll put a lap down on him. Let's see what else we got. B5 is 4 seconds behind Unlock Shoe. Oh, good lord. I need more coffee. Racer is in 6th, 9 seconds behind 5. Soul in the pits to clear his first pit stop. Stan Lee in to clear his first pit stop. Alright, that should be fixed. Namaste in first, has not cleared his pit stop yet. Where is he on the track? Number 3. Somewhere. I don't see his icon. Oh, there he is. On the back straightaway. Okay. Stanley still in the pits. Five coming on the tail of Outer Known. Oh, Kipster's behind Yawning Soul. Or did he get around already? Looks like he got around.
What did I miss?
Kipster got by Yawning Soul.
Oh,
Speaking
perfect.
of yawning.
Yawning.
Five's about 4 seconds behind Unlock Shoe out of the pits.
Namaste Maru now in.
Finally in, yep. Stan Lee seemed to be in for a little longer than 30 seconds, but I wasn't.
Well, Stan, I mean, we looked at Stan earlier and he did have damage on the side of his car. He sent himself into the, I think it was Stan that sent himself off into the wall coming down the Tribune straight. Out of nowhere, he just seemed to twist off into the dust. So had a little bit of damage on the side. Yeah, Porsche doing Porsche things. We need Red Rider, the Porsche destroyer here. And with Namaste Maruin, that'll clear everybody's first mandatory pit stop. Should give you opportunity for Frosty Harmony to jump back up into first. But Namaste out of the pits, coming out right behind him now. Obviously making up a good bit of time with that pit stop. We'll see what the split is once they hit the marker, but Kipster running off through the runway.
Kipster's gonna get a drive-through for that, I think.
If he's not careful.
Normally, the game is pretty harsh about having to go through there.
Yeah, it is.
Like he was fine. He did
Frost...
slow way down.
Yeah, I think if you back it off a lot, you're good, right?
I don't know. I always get a penalty going through there, but
really,
yeah.
Now, does that one even provide the three warnings first, or no?
No, it's like you go through there. It's just like, oh,
you're done. Gotcha.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like he's pulled one, so able to hold on to it. Currently sitting in 10th, and in between Frosty Harmony and Namaste Maru. But that gap, we saw that gap at one point was 19 seconds, and now we're down to a 3.7 second gap between Frosty Harmony and Namaste Maru. So Frosty gonna start feeling pressure. Namaste with great pace today. Doesn't have to catch up to him, just has to have that pit strategy right for that second stop, right?
Yeah, so assume there that he didn't take tires. I think he just took fuel to get in and out.
No, they have to do both.
Did he?
Yep, they
Oh,
gotta do
okay. It
both.
was so quick though. Interesting.
Yep.
Okay, I didn't know they had to do both. Never mind then. There goes my theory.
There goes your theory.
Oh, I never know the rules. They change all the time.
Keeping the focus on Kipster in the Audi R8 just for Dunn's benefit in the chat. Dunn and I both Audi fans. The other Audi on track today, Paris. Ripping by, taking some grass to get along around unlocked shoe. Oh my lord. I wish I had a replay because that was crazy. Yo, he just came blowing past unlocked shoe like like he was sitting still. I don't know what happened there. But Paris now back up into P5. Unlocked shoe currently sitting in 6th. Outer known now up into 12th. Getting himself a few positions. Currently running behind B5. Dunn said it using all the track. Well, as long as you keep 2 tires on, I guess you're good, right?
Unlock shoe in for his second pit stop.
Very curious. A little early for that. No pit windows, but he's going to have to go an hour and 10 minutes. If he clears that stop, he's going to have to go a full hour and 10 minutes on those tires. And even in the Bentley, that seems to be stretching a little thin. And also, fuel-wise, I mean, we've done 70-minute races in the past where I've seen the Bentley carry it. It's got a good-sized fuel tank on it, but that's a stretch, isn't it?
It should be able to do 70 minutes.
Okay.
Should be fine.
We'll see if that clears, or if he had some sort of incident that put him in the pits. Unlocked Shoe has been in the pits for quite a while now. Maybe having some... might have had some sort of trouble, hardware-wise or connection-wise, that is causing him an issue right now.
Yeah, he not moving.
Yeah, he's sitting awful still. So if we take a look though up front, I mean, we talked about 3.7 seconds between our leader Frosty Harmony and Namaste Maru when Namaste came out of the pits. That's now open to 5.5 seconds. So Frosty, obviously someone who's very, very fast at this track. Again, I wish Xbox ACC would show us, the actual, let's see here. Yeah, I can't zip in on individual drivers to see those times.
Shoe gets the stop and go, and he doesn't clear his pit. So he sits there for a minute, gets a stop and go, doesn't clear his pit.
Yeah, something happened there. That's unfortunate. But now he's in front of Namaste Maru.
Oh, almost the door slammed him.
Let him by, though. But Namaste now with a 6-second gap to Frosty Harmony. Kipster now into the pits. And I'm going to tell you something right now. That Audi ain't going 70 minutes on them tires. It's not. It's not happening. So we'll see if he's going to clear that or not. As we wait for the gap to come in back to B Fife from Namaste Maru. B Fife with 13.5-second gap up to Namaste. Caught up right now in backmarker traffic. Unlocked shoe now stopped on the track. Didn't realize, just sitting in the middle of the track at this point. Well, not in the middle, but off to the left-hand side of the track. Now going to get going again as Master comes around the corner. He's got to be having some hardware issues, right? Like,
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's unfortunate too, because he was having a great race in that Bentley today. Obviously something going on, holding him up. Now 27 laps deep with Frosty Harmony and Namaste Maru as we come down to the 1 hour 5 minute mark in today's endurance race at Monza. And back into the pits he goes. See if he's going to clear that stop, go 30. Let's take a look back, though. Yawning Soul able to get around Outer Known. Oh, Yawning Soul taking the runoff, actually. So losing some time. Outer Known, again, this season switching to the Porsche. Might account for some of his troubles. We check in with Waiver Frame and Lucky Lambert. We've seen at least 2 battles between these guys today. It looks like we're close to having another one as Lucky Lambert looks to close that gap.
Yeah, Unlocked Shoe went from top 10. He almost peeled out right into the pit wall right there. But he is out of the pits now and on his way. His stop-go is not cleared, though.
Lucky Lambert and Waiver Frame going to go side by side. Lambert has the speed around the outside. Can he hold on to it? Lambert able to clear that pass, bring himself up into P7. But both cars going wide. These guys like to battle, I swear to God. Both of them going way wide. Unbelievable. So now Lucky Lambert still ahead, neither one making contact, but leaving Waiver Frame behind. And again, we'll have to once again see if these guys are able to battle once more today. Waiver Frame and Lucky Lambert. Unlocked Shoe now out of the pits in P14, but unable to clear that stop-go. So he's still going to have to dive in at some point. Our front runners now well spread out. Frosty Harmony is currently sitting in P1, 29 laps down. 10-second advantage over Namaste Maru. B-Fife now 12.8 seconds back off of Namaste's pace, with JB Racer closing. Unlock Shoe now with 2 laps left to clear that stop, go 30. Check in on B Fife, currently running P3.
He's cutting down some time now.
He's trying, yeah, 11 down to 11.8 second gap. And again, B Fife's so consistent on track, right? Like, you know, he's not in a position where he has to worry about JB yet. I don't know that gap's closing out where, you know, we're at 3.7 seconds at this point. So really, Fife able to run his own race right now, able to, you know, keep his pace, stay consistent like we know he can. We'll have to see how that pace comes down. You know, we haven't seen Namaste on track in a while either. He's been helping run the league with stewarding and everything else. So he hasn't really been on track, but obviously has not lost his abilities when it comes to driving an ACC on Xbox. Correct.
And Destergott almost took out Lambert. I think he just lost control. They got by. Everything's fine. But
Oh, that's good.
almost. It's
Great to see Paris T up there in P5 right now. Again, one of our newer drivers at box 3. But doing very well for himself today. Dan Lee currently sitting in P6. His Porsche. Does Stan drive anything else? I don't think I've ever seen Stan drive anything else. Have you?
not in a long time, no. I don't think so.
He is a Porsche boy through and through. I'm starting to wonder if Underlock's shoe has not given up because he's still not cleared that stop go 30. I'm curious to see if he comes in this lap.
Yeah. Well, it's the last lap to do it, right?
I believe so, yeah. There is our halfway mark, ladies and gentlemen. 1 hour of Xbox ACC racing to go. And there he goes, right past the pit entrance. And dumped to the pits as a disqualified.
Yeah.
That is a shame. It's a shame, because I mean, it really is too, because he was doing so well today. Really driving well. Obviously having some sort of issue in the background that we're unaware of. That took him out of contention, right?
Yeah, and he did try to clear it. I'm not sure why it didn't clear. He must have made some changes or something.
Yeah.
So
Something
that's
happened.
frustrating. Down to 9 seconds.
Namaste Maru having a great race today. And again,
And that gap hasn't opened up as much in the second stint either. So.
No. Stayed a lot closer than it was. JB Racer as well, able to maintain that 3.7 second gap to B Fife right now. See if JB is able to close that up a little bit, or I'm waiting to see if JB takes an undercut. With only an hour left, I don't know for sure that Lambo can pull the fuel, but I'm waiting to see if JB tries for that undercut to get in there, get on tire, get the tires done, load up on fuel, and just run the rest of this race to try and get ahead of B Fife and then stay there.
I think that's pretty much the only shot he has, because the gap doesn't fluctuate much. It gets down to 3.4, goes 3 to 8, and then just kind of goes back and forth.
Which kind of shows he has the pace, right? He's matching Fife's pace.
Right.
He's just got to get that opportunity to get ahead, and I think that pit stop is what's going to do it for him.
Everyone else pretty well spread out.
Which is very surprising for me.
Yeah. Only the top 4 are on the lead lap, is that right? Top 6? Can never trust Xbox timetables.
Yeah, no. Not even a little bit. I have discovered it only updates when people cross the timing lines for each sector.
Yeah.
So between there, it's a guess as to what their actual split is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's awful.
Life is pushing that thing. It's getting some tail wag.
Lucky Lambert and Waiver Frame, the battles we saw earlier today, Lucky Lambert now with a 6-second gap back to Waiver Frame. So this, you know, we'll have to see if we get another battle out of these guys. Both of them really pushing hard. Frosty Harmony now splitting them. Our current leader. You know, we talked about JB and Fife and, you know, where that pit strategy comes into play on which one of those two is going to be able to come out ahead. I think it's really the same for Frosty Harmony and Namaste Maru. I would love to see... That gap's not opening. It's opening, but slowly. Not like it was during the first half of this race. I would love to see Namaste out ahead of Frosty Harmony just to see the battle. Because I think Harmony's got the pace on Namaste, but Namaste's a good consistent driver, and I wonder what kind of defense he would be able to play to keep Harmony at bay, and for how long.
Well, and then if that happens, I think Fife would be in the mix because he's cutting it down to about 6.5 seconds here coming this next lap. So
obviously these pit stops in the second half of today's race gonna play a factor. We're now down to 13 drivers. Looking at Discord, Unlocked Shoe struggling, had a crash apparently, heated himself out, had to do repairs. That was the long pit stop, and from there was just didn't understand the stop go penalty, went into the pit, but it didn't serve the penalty.
yeah, here.
So
heard that before.
Yep, you're not the first one, Unlock Shoe, that has happened to.
That's happened to all of us.
Yeah, I think at one time or another, right?
Hell, happened to me this morning on iRacing. Got a black flag, went in, didn't let me serve it, then it disqualified me on the next lap. Awesome.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Hey, you know why I don't care? Because at least you can drive right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sitting here going, wish I could do some iRacing. Or ACC.
You should have done all those steroids and snapped your wheel in half.
I probably shouldn't have, huh? I love that the QR1's sitting here ready to go, and, you know, or the QR light, I should say. Sitting here ready to go, and I can't do anything with it because I don't have a wheel to attach it to.
Bummer.
It is. What are you going to do? Gap between Fife and JB now down to 3.5 seconds. Maybe looking to push and tighten that up. Was looking for P1 today. He was very excited for today's race. Go check in on Fife as we mentioned him.
Get it down in the 5-second range. Seems. Gotta imagine pit stops are gonna be coming up here soon.
Yeah, I don't see too many of our leaders waiting too long to get in, right? I don't know why I can't grab the audio from Fife's stream from these guys, you know, when these guys are driving. It's not bringing the audio through. He's talking about how Namaste's getting faster now, so I don't know.
Oh.
Looks like JB Racer just took the runoff through Redafilo. Hopefully no penalty for him. That gap now between Frosty and Namaste, 14.9 seconds. If I'm Namaste Maru and I'm seeing that gap open up, don't I hit the pits soon to try and get ahead of him?
Yeah. And you have 5 closing in, so...
It just seems like a good time to get in. Although he's going to know, you know, better than I do. I've never driven the McLaren, how long those tires are going to last for him throughout the rest of this race. But I'm seeing my only opportunities get further and further away instead of trying to get into the pits and then get ahead of him and stay there, or, you know, further back. But then as he goes in, try and get ahead of him and stay there.
Right. Coming up on some traffic, see if he can get around. And he does.
One thing I will say I'm very happy with, because I mentioned it during the drivers meeting, and so far I think what we've seen is that the slower drivers, the blue flags, are really doing a great job to let these guys by. Now again, Monza is one of those tracks with a lot of straights. There's a lot of opportunity to let the faster drivers through.
Right.
But I haven't seen any back marker incidents thus far that have, you know, pointed to someone being a problem when it comes to clearing those back markers and clearing those blue flags.
Yeah, no, it's been pretty good. I haven't seen any issues. Stan Lee has also cut the gap down from 10 seconds to about 5 seconds on Paris.
Excellent. JB Racer now down to 2.8 seconds on the back end of B Fife. Fife obviously losing a little bit of time with the back marker. Destragot, but JB now around that blue flag. With a little bit of clean air to run, we'll see if that gap continues to close in. And the gap now under 5 seconds between Namaste Maru and Fife. So, like a lot of our races, we see everything up front get jumbled. There's incidents in T1. There's all this stuff. Guys running very close for the first half hour or so. Things calm down. And now as we get closer towards the end of the race, we start seeing times close in. We start seeing those gaps shorten. And I think the last half hour of this race is going to get very, very interesting.
And now the gap is starting to get pretty wide between Namaste and Frosty.
Yep. And again, I'm very surprised Namaste hasn't dove into the pits. Clear that stop, see if he can get out ahead and hold on to it. Outer Known now into the pits. Gonna clear that last stop. And again, Outer Known, you know, struggled, was all the way in P16 at the start of this race, now up into P9. I mean, he's made his way up into the top 10. Absolutely fantastic driving from him today. We haven't been able to watch him a lot because he's been towards the back of the pack and not really in any battles, but he has moved his way back up.
And that's why you don't quit.
Exactly, right?
You bastards.
Dude, you know, I mean, look, again, I know I'm a slower driver when I do race. I'm not a guy that looks for battles. I want to have a little bit of fun, you know, battling people, but if someone's wickedly faster than me, I'm more apt to just let them by, right? I just want to have a fun race. The the races I've been in where I have done well have been all about consistency and running my race, not chasing the rabbit, not looking for that guy in front of me,
Right.
and sticking with it until the end of that race. And I end up, I qual in 10th or 12th, but I end up finishing in 5th or 6th only because I didn't leave and I stayed away from trouble the whole time. You and I have talked about Max Charb, one of the guys that races with us from time to time. Would love to see him come back. We watched Max one day go from like P15 to P4 or 6 during the course of a race because all he did was keep himself out of trouble, right?
Yep.
He didn't look for hard battles. He didn't look to be the fastest on a specific lap. He didn't look to get around people. He simply stayed out of trouble and ran consistent laps and climbed through the ranks slowly but surely to put himself into the top 10. It was a great race for him, right? I remember that one because of how good it was. So Lucky Lambert now P7 now into the pits.
Zap and I talk about that every week about just, so many of the places are gained just because we're not the type of guys to get frustrated. Well, I'll get frustrated, but we won't quit the race, so.
I was about to say, if you tell me you don't get frustrated, I'm going to lose my mind. What happened?
5 hit the curb and goes into the wall.
Oh, yes, he does. So Fife now behind JB Racer, losing a position there.
That's going to be some damage.
We're going to check on him real quick.
That is unfortunate.
He's looking now. 27 seconds of damage he's got.
Oh, man.
27 seconds. That is a shame right there. And there he is, B Fife. Not a shame for JB, obviously, but again, you see a guy his driving style and all this, and you realize what a consistent driver he is. To see someone like Fife go off track and have problems like that is always, hard to watch because you want to see him succeed. JB Racer now. Oh, go ahead, Chief. Sorry.
I was going to say, I wonder, it's a new car, so I just feel like he got Porsche'd pretty hard right there.
Yeah. Well, we've seen the Porsche hit some curbs. As an Audi driver, curbs are not your friend. You tend to stay away from them. But I've never driven the Porsche, so I can't say how the Porsche is with curbs, specifically at Monza. Maybe that's what does it. But B Fife now into the pits, going to clear that damage as well as I'm sure his final mandatory stop. That puts JB Racer now into third.
I guess it was more... So he hits the curb, clips the sausage curve a little bit, it bumps him, and then he goes in the sand. I assume he gets on the power a little too soon, and then catches the sand that sends him in the wall.
Gotcha. So Steadfast in the chat says it's all about track position, clear track, no battles is faster. Yep, and you know what, Steadfast, you're 100% right. We've seen it here before where you've got two drivers who are battling maybe for P2 and 3, somewhere in that range, 3 or 4, whatever it might be. And suddenly the guy in P5 is right behind him. And now it's a three-way battle because they've had to fight each other, play defense, and now the rest of the pack starts catching up and closing that gap. So B5 into the pits has cleared that mandatory stop now, still in the pits, rolling out now. Gonna remain in P4. Paris 52 seconds back. So Fife pulls a stop go 30. Oh. That has got to be disappointing. That's our second one today. Master into the pits as well.
Oh.
So B5 now in 6th. Stanley and Paris both ahead. Haven't cleared their stops, but they only have to make one. B5, this is going to be his third. But JB Racer now very secure in P3, waiting for the split time to come up on Namaste Maru. It looked, the last time it showed up, it looked like the time was closing between him and Frosty Harmony again. Still 17 seconds. So a little bit of a closure. It was higher than that. So thus far, B5, Lucky Lambert, Outer Known, and Master all having cleared their pit stop. Destra got into the pits now. But Fife gonna have to head back in for that 30-second penalty. Take a check on Yawning Soul. Little damage on the front of that vehicle, McLaren. So Fife, I'm sure, no doubt, very frustrated right now with a cleared pit stop. Is currently sitting P6. Now going to have to go in for a penalty. As we look up front, JB Racer, now 6.3 seconds back off of Namaste Maru.
Dan, 2.3 back now from Paris.
Let's just take a look at Paris. Paris doing very well today in the Audi. Picking himself up there, currently P4. Waiver Frame dives into the pits. B5 back in to clear that penalty. Now to clear the penalty, I don't remember. It's been so long since I've raced on Xbox. To clear the penalty, you have to turn off fuel and tires as you head into the pits, right?
Yeah, you have to turn off your pit strategy, essentially. Just don't change anything. And I think that's maybe what happened to
the Jimmy C.
Unlocked Shoe.
Yeah, Unlocked Shoe. Yep. And that's what I wondered, because I think I've struggled with that in the past, where you go in, your pit strategy is still set. So
yeah,
you end up
sets it auto.
Yeah,
you.
so you end up performing a pit instead of clearing the stop-go penalty.
Right.
But Fife able to clear his, now back out on the track, still in 6th, with Waiver Frame in 7th, still in the pits. So Fife now having some time to make up, but has at least been able to clear that with all the drivers in front of him still needing to make those pit stops as Paris and Lee head into the pits together.
Both go into the pits, yep.
Waiver Frame just now coming out. That seemed like a long stop for Waiver Frame, but we'll see where he ends up.
Well, he'd hit some curbs and stuff, so it's possible he had some suspension damage.
Yeah. Outer Known gonna take the runoff through T1 with Waiver Frame on the inside. As we wait for the timing screen to show up, because now Outer Known gonna chase Waiver Frame. So here, listen, we're setting up a situation here that I like to talk about while we're on stream. So you got Frosty Harmony currently running P1, right? JB's into the pits, as you said. But you've got Waiver Frame and Outer Known, back markers to Harmony, but they're about to battle for position. Now, if you're Harmony, what's your play, right? What are you looking to do? You obviously want to clear your markers, but at the same time, you got to let these guys fight their race, right?
Yeah.
Waiver
we talk
Frame
about
plan.
it every week. I think that's when patience comes into play.
It does, right? You've gotta set back a little bit and realize who's in front of you. Outer Known tossing that Porsche over the curb. No longer a battle as Waiver Frame pulls away. Outer Known pushing hard. Trying to get that Porsche turned around. Again, his first race in the Porsche. Having a little bit of struggle today.
Stan gets the position out of the pits on Paris. Comes a full 1.5 seconds almost out.
But they are nice and close. We're going to watch this battle now. So Stan Lee getting himself into 4th with Paris right there chasing him down. Kipster back up into 7th in the other Audi on track today. Closing the gap on B5 right now. So this is what a stop go 30 does. If we look, B Fife now 17 seconds back from Paris, right?
Yeah.
Was running in what was he running in third? Lost 3 positions and is 17 seconds back from P5. Like, I don't know that he can make that up in the last 37 minutes of this race today.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But Frosty Harmony and Namaste Maru still needing to make pit stops up front. Namaste Maru now 18.8 seconds back from Frosty. Zap Brannigan in the chat. Welcome in, Zap. Thank you for being here.
Dan into the runoff. I don't know if there was contact there. I missed the tail end of that. But Paris by again.
Paris very fast in that Audi. I gotta say, he's very, very quick.
Makes you look bad.
No, he doesn't, because listen, I am an admittedly slow driver. I'm here for fun. I'm here for a fun time, not a long time.
Getting honked at in the left lane.
Yeah, whatever. That's the worst part, is when I drive in real life, I'm one of the faster guys on the road within the bounds of not getting a ticket, right? Like, but in sim racing, it's hard for me to feel the limit. I don't, so I don't push as hard as others do, I guess. I don't know if you were here the day I told Red about the day I took the CRV, which granted is a mid-sized SUV, and where I was going, or where I was coming from, there's a curve that's a lot like the corkscrew at Laguna, right?
Oh, okay.
You come into this thing and you're going left hard and down, and then you're whipping right back right. And there we see Kipster pulling a stop go 30 as well. So anyway, I'm in a CRV and I'm like, I'm tooling along, and I like this road because this road is curvy. It's fun, right? It's a lot of fun to drive this road. Even in an automatic, doesn't matter. You're having fun. And back into that CRV let me know that I maybe pushed it a little hard through that corkscrew. So again, like on the road in real life, I tend to push a little bit because I can feel it. Sim racing, it's not the same. I don't have the feel that a lot of these guys do.
I was talking to my wife about that yesterday. I had to borrow my dad's SUV to go pick up my new TV, and kind of same thing. I was pushing it because I'm so used to driving the Mini Cooper, and I'm like, and then the SUV has a V8 in it, so I'm like, oh, this thing has some giddy up to it, so I'm kind of playing around. But I was telling her, I was like, sim racing, I love it, but you just don't get the feeling of your butt and like the change of like I could feel when I got up on a different part of the pavement, and when we got down and get on the grooves, you can feel all of that,
But at the same time, I conflate those two worlds of sim racing and racing in general versus real worlds. Like, I was on a call yesterday for work, and one of the guys said, hey, my guy's, one of my engineers, he's going to go get new tires on his vehicle because he's telling me they're bald. And I unmuted myself on the conference call and said, and?
They're racing tires now.
I'm like, that just means don't drive it in the wet. There's more grit now. If he warms them up, he'll be fine. Don't worry about it. And they're all like, they're listening to me, and I can see the people on camera.
What are you talking about?
Their faces on camera instantly changed to this, what are you talking about face that just was weird, so.
Yeah, we got grooves, so we got grip in the wet, guys. Come on.
Yeah, come on. Zap Brannigan asking, what are the lap times as we take a look again and we continue to watch Stan Lee. Unfortunately on Xbox Zap, I cannot show you the lap times during the race. However, we can go to qualifying and look at the qual times for these guys. And if you take a look, 148s were our tops, 149s. So most of the field very quick with our 148s and 149s. Very close in the front during qualifying today. So Kipster in to serve his stop-go penalty. Frosty Harmony and Namaste Maru staying out These guys are going to stretch their tires and fuel as long as they can, coming down to the last 30 minutes of today's 2-hour endurance race. Yawning Soul now into the pits. Going to clear that final stop. Paris is now.
Watched the replay for Stan and Paris, and Stan just overshot it. There was no contact.
Gotcha. Okay. So I was going to say Paris now opening up 2.6 seconds over Stan Lee. So Paris with great pace again in that Audi, doing really well. Namaste Maru now into the pits. Going to look to undercut Frosty Harmony. But a 28-second gap now. Now, obviously, that's stretched out because of the, Namaste going into the pits. So we'll have to see where this lands as we come back to the last 30 minutes of this race. Check in again with Fife real quick, see how he's doing. I love watching Fife drive because his face is so serious. Like, the guy is just locked in the whole time. So if we take a look, we can see there B-Fife's best lap today of 148.996. Currently running in 6th place.
Yawning Soul with the stop and go.
A lot of stop goes at Monza today.
Does Frosty Harmony get one? Change this whole race around. Oh no.
Namaste Maru able to hold on to P2, now 68 seconds ahead of P3, JB Racer.
Good Lord.
What?
That doesn't seem right.
That doesn't, yeah, something's not right.
78. Where's he at on track? Okay, he just went around to the first corner.
Yeah, JB can't be that far back. Something's not right there. Gotta love ACC timing, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm gonna say it's like 30 seconds based on where I can see them on the track map.
It's updated now, 8 seconds. So I don't know where you got 30, but
am I looking at the wrong? It looks just.
You might be. I don't know.
I was looking at the car numbers
now.
and just the track map. They look a lot further away than 8 seconds.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah, I was just guessing based on.
Yeah, I don't know why it said 68 seconds, but again, welcome to ACC Racing on Xbox. So Frosty Harmony now the only one to not clear that last mandatory pit stop. Namaste Maru wait for the time to come in. Just under 30 minutes left to go in today's 2-hour endurance race. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. You're watching Box 3 Motorsports. Your home for ACC Racing on both PC and Xbox. What have we seen? 3 or 4 penalties today, right? Something like that?
Yeah. I think that's at least 4 stop and goes.
Yeah.
Yawning. I think Kipster got one. Shoes got one. Fife got one. So yeah, at least 4.
JB Racer closing the gap now under 8 seconds to Namaste Maru. Half an hour, again, 28 and a half minutes. That's still a lot of racing to go. Yeah. So we'll have to see if JB's able to close that up.
Well, and we were talking about Fife. He's 7 seconds behind Stan now, down to 17.
Yeah, but Fife is a machine, dude. Every time we switch to his stream, he's like super concentrated. I don't know how he does it.
Cocaine.
I don't think that's the answer, but because I see these guys. I see guys like palm tree oil.
That's my new job.
Right? That's your new job?
I'm gonna start rumors about all the racers. I'm gonna give you all personalities, and it's gonna be like completely opposite of what you are. And I'm just gonna make up the most insane lies about
whatever the most audacious things you can think of, right?
Like I don't.
Oh,
Fife doesn't strike me as a guy who does a lot of drugs, but I'm saying cocaine.
That Lucky Lambert? Yeah, I think Lucky Lambert off track spun himself. Yep. Comes back out in front of Master and Frosty Harmony. Frosty Harmony now going to have to go side by side with a lot of back markers. Hopefully these guys willing to let him through. It looks like they are. Again, the back marker situation today has been fantastic. You know, I myself have been guilty of the idea of, as a back marker, again, because I'm slow, that I should somehow peel off the track into the grass to let people by. And that's just not true, right? That's not what you're supposed to do. Right. So to see these guys, they obviously, you know, Lambert had issues. He also had another driver, another back marker right there with him. And Frosty Harmony is able to go ahead, clear both of those. They let him around. That's the kind of racing that I want to see. And it's the kind of racing that we're promoting here at Box 3. So again, never mind the turn 1 incident in lap 1, the things that happened. That stuff happens in every race. To see the back marker thing starting to clear up, because we've had this battle in the past about back markers. And so all of a sudden to see these things start to clear up and you see these drivers working together, even though they're all trying to win, they're working together to make sure that there aren't incidents and things on track. I think it's fantastic. I love it.
Sorry.
What'd you do? I lost you.
It's
I think
all right.
It's all right.
Yeah, it's okay. I prefer mayhem.
I know you do. That's why you circle drive. Outer Known now ahead of Waiver Frame.
True. Guy door slammed me last night, so I spun the back end out of him on the final lap for P2.
Waiver Frame struggling now. Looked like we were going to have a battle with Outer Known, but unfortunately Waiver Frame having a little bit of trouble through the chicane. Outer Known, first race in the Porsche. Got himself back up into P8 after struggling up front. Palm Tree Oil in the chat says his internet has been out for the whole morning and was not able to make today's race.
What, is sheep chew on the wire or something?
Well, Palm Tree, Frosty Harmony is taking you to school 50 laps down. And I'll tell you what, I know you're a speedy boy. Palm Tree Oil, as we watch Harmony come into the pits to clear that final stop. Palm Tree Oil, the winner of Season 1 of Xbox ACC Racing here at Box 3 Motorsports. Frosty is a speedy boy, Palm Tree. So I cannot wait to see you on track with him next week. As we take a quick look, just to remind everyone, coming in the end of this race, we're back next week, next Saturday, 7 p.m. UTC, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. A sprint race, 1 hour at Brands Hatch. I know everybody's favorite circuit. That'll take place next Saturday. Our PC League closes out Season 1 tomorrow in Barcelona with a 45-minute race. Season 2 and an endurance season coming very quickly to the PC League. The guys that run that have been working hard to get that put together, so expect more PC ACC racing very soon here at Box 3 Motorsports. And we will be here tomorrow to cover that Barcelona race for everyone. So Frosty Harmony now into the pits. Where is Namaste Maru?
On the back straight.
So Frosty now going to be able to come out.
And Fife is making the move on Stan. Up into 5th.
Porsche versus Porsche. Stan Lee going to swing to the inside, though. Can he outbrake Fife?
Start finish line.
So Fife able to claim P5 from Stan Lee. But Namaste Maru now a good bit back. I don't think it's that 83 seconds that it's showing, so.
No, but he just got through the first chicane, and Frosty is through the second chicane. So.
Yeah, there's a good gap there, but not 83 seconds. Let's see. We'll wait for that to report from the timing screen. Kipster and Master, 21675 now, battling down the front straight. Master swings to the outside. Lucky Lambert pulls a drive through for track limits. Kipster and Master both taking runoffs as Kipster pulls ahead. And that battle is over as quickly as it started. But Lucky Lambert pulling a drive-through penalty for track limits today.
It's unfortunate. All right. Well, I gotta jump off. Have a good last 20 minutes of the race.
Thank you, sir. Frosty Harmony
Yeah.
now 18 seconds up on Namaste Maru. Chief, thank you for being here, my man.
Yeah. Good
Have a
driving,
good-
everyone.
Have a good evening.
Yeah.
I'll talk at you later.
Sounds good.
Y'all are stuck with me for the last 20 minutes of today's race. B Fife now getting himself up into 5th position. And again, folks, I apologize. I do need to step away. These longer races, I have to take a step away for a moment or two. We are going to watch B Fife race for about 2 minutes while I take that step back. We'll be here for the last 20 minutes of today's race at Monza. Again, Fife, just a machine in that rig of his. Never see that guy twitch. Frosty Harmony leading right now with 17:40 left to go in today's 2-hour race. 54 laps down with a 20-second lead over Namaste Maru. JB Racer, though, looking to close the gap on Namaste, currently in P3. Harris, some troubles today. Oh, as we mentioned, running through. That Audi does not like those sausage curbs. B-Fife right there to take advantage, though. B-Fife going to get himself up into P4 just like that. And again, it makes it so hard on Xbox because we're showing a 2.1 second gap, and that will stick until they cross the timing line for the sector. So hard to catch battles on Xbox. But B-Fife able to jump into P4, which will trade up here. Right there it goes. But Paris not giving up in that Audi. Gonna try and keep up. But Fife has got that pace, I gotta say. And Paris, oh, Paris struggling off into the wall here at the end of today's race. Hopefully able to get turned around quickly, but back markers. Stan Lee able to get around as well, so Paris trying to get locked back on, but Stan Lee able to take advantage of that situation, get himself up into P5. Off tree, you got Baguette with 6 shades. I love it. Good job, my man. There we see Paris now dropping to P6. Outer Known working, you know, Outer Known struggling up front. On the Discord, again, messages off to the side, admitted his fault into T1 on the first lap, looked to tuck himself back in, missed his break point, had some troubles, stuck with the race, held on, and is now into P7. Just a great race from him, trying to stay stable in what, again, for him, is a new car, driving that Porsche this season. Really a great job, again, owning the problem, and at the same time sticking with the race and looking to close up as much as he can here towards the end. Just 15 minutes left to go. JB Racer closing the gap to Namaste Maru. And this may become our end of race battle right here. Namaste able to clear back markers. We'll continue to keep eyes on this gap. JB Racer now 2.1 off pace showing. Stanley giving room to Namaste to get around. Now we'll have opportunity to do the same for JB. Stan running a bit wide, but giving plenty of opportunity for JB Racer to get around on the back straight out of Ascari. Can we talk about how Namaste is lapping P5? Yeah, well, Namaste has had the pace today along. I mean, again, you know, we got to talk about Harmony way up there a 21-second gap. Harmony and Namaste Maru have just run away with it today. But now JB Racer has closed it in, and we are going to get a battle here at the end of today's race. We will see what kind of defense Namaste can bring to the table. Namaste's been in P2 for this entire 2-hour endurance race today. JB struggling at the start of today's race, getting caught up in some incidents, but now currently in P3 and applying pressure. The last 11 and a half minutes of this race are going to be the longest 11 and a half minutes of Namaste's racing today. Up until this point, able to drive in relatively clean air. Not really have any pressure behind him. That is all about to change. So we're going to go side by side. JB with the pace down the straight into Parabolica. Gonna take the inside. Namaste nudging ahead around the out, but JB is gonna be able to hold on. Nice clean racing into the straight, now headed down into T1. JB Racer now into P2 in the last 10 minutes of this race today. Namaste has had great pace today, though. I don't see JB able to run away with this, but we'll see. With that clean air in front of him, he may be able to just run at this point. Namaste going wide into the dirt, and off into the sand he goes. Namaste pushing a little too hard. Plenty of space behind him, but no longer a threat to JB Racer. As we cross that 10-minute mark in today's race. JB now with a 3.7 second gap back to Namaste Maru, feeling no pressure at this point. He was in the Lexus, that would never happen. Well, but he's not. He's in the Aston. Still a great race from Namaste Maru today. Still currently sitting with a podium position in P3. Another one today, Stan Lee with an excellent race. We go back and take a look at the timetables to see where he qualified. Stan Lee qualifying 10th, currently sitting in 5th. Just an excellent race from him today. Again, very consistent, doing his best to stay out of trouble. Harmony at this point, it's his race to lose, but the consistency has shown all throughout this 2-hour race today. He has maintained P1, completely stayed out of trouble. With that 22-second gap, don't see JB closing that up before the end of today's race. Namaste Maroon now already with a 4.7 second gap up to JB Racer, but B Fife still way back as he comes around Parabolica. Stanley again, as we mentioned just a moment ago, currently running in 5th. Harris, again, someone who had some trouble today, a little bit of consistency issues, but overall, great race in the Audi, currently running P6. Outer Known, you know, I can't stress enough some great driving today. Outer Known, incident in T1 on the first lap, was all the way, you know, had to pit all the way down in the 16th at the time. Comes all the way back, now going to finish looking at like he's going to finish in 7th. Just an excellent race from him today. Not allowing that lap 1 incident to frustrate him out of the race. Able to pick it up, stay consistent throughout the rest of it, and move himself up through the ranks. Lucky Lambert as well. We watched Lucky Lambert and Waiver Frame battle twice today. No doubt there will be some incident reports from today's race, but overall, excellent driving from everyone. Waiver Frame again with Lucky Lambert having battled a few times. Kipster, another Audi driver. I'd say a little surprising because Kipster typically a very strong racer. Very fast, but maybe Monza not his track. Not somewhere he's 100% comfortable in his Audi, but good to see him back in the Audi this season. A little bit of warble there in the back head as he comes around through Lesmo. Obviously the tires starting to get to him just a tad. With Master, Yawning Soul, and Destrigot bringing up the back end. But here, Box 3 Racing, it's all about getting better slowly. You know, we're not, you don't have to win every time. These guys have done a great job today. Back markers, clearing the way for our faster drivers. And everyone overall running a great race. Other than the lap 1, turn 1 incident. Very clean today. Yeah, Peanut Butter. B Fife is in the Porsche this season. Had a great race today. Was running in 2nd until he pushed it just a little hard. Tossed off of a back corner. But still able to make up position from there. Currently running P4. Palm Tree, you got to get back in here because, again, Frosty Harmony, one of our new drivers, someone who recently joined. So, not someone we know a lot about with pace and everything. Obviously, very fast today here at Monza. But Palm Tree, the winner of our last season, coming in P1 across Xbox Season 1, would love to see you run against him. Check in with Fife one more time and see how he's doing over there, sweating as he drives. Currently sitting P4. Like he is doing very well, still concentrating after such a long race today. 2 hours for these guys. Oh, Unlock Shoe has joined back in, but is still disqualified. Okay. come down to the end of today's race. I want to thank everyone for watching. One last time, folks, before we get to the end, I just want to remind you, we're back tomorrow. ACC action at Barcelona. Standard 45-minute race, 8 p.m. UTC, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch that action right here. And we are back next week to continue Season 2 of our GT3 Xbox League. A 1-hour race at Brands Hatch next Saturday, 7 p.m. UTC, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And again, you can catch that action right here, Box 3 Motorsports. Waiver frame now into the pits. This late in the race, it's gotta be damage. Although I can't see a ton on the vehicle. Seems odd that he would dive in now, but Kipster down 3 laps. As long as he can come back out quickly enough, he should be able to maintain position as we check in on Harmony. JB Racer currently running second. Great race from him today. Again, JB, one of our controller racers. Not something you see very often for someone that fast and that consistent. Namaste Maru, a reserve driver for Box 3 Motorsports, coming in today. Doing a great job, currently holding P3. And B-Fife spent most of this race in P2. Unfortunately, sent him off, overdriving that Porsche just a tad to put himself off into the sand at one point. Still able to make up position from P7. Come all the way back to P4 today. And there you go, folks. Frosty Harmony has crossed the finish line. Finished the first race of Xbox ACC Season 2. 2 hours of driving at Monza. B-Fife finishing in 4th. We wait for JB Racer and Namaste Maru to come across. As JB decides to end the race into the wall. JB Racer in 3rd, B-Fife in 4th. I Am Stan Lee finishes in 5th. Paris in his Audi in 6th. Master in 11th. Yawning Soul in 12th. Outer Known coming around Parabolica. Unlocked Shoe got disqualified because he had an issue. Ended up getting a stop go 30 coming out of the pits, and then did not clear the stop in time. When he went in, it did not clear it, and so ended up causing his disqualification. And unfortunately, on the Xbox side, there's nothing we can do about that here. It is what it is at the end of the day. So, but there are your standings for Race 1, Season 2 of Xbox ACC. Frosty Harmony brings it home in the Ferrari for P1. Namaste Maru. What? Wait, what? Why did JB finish 3rd? Well, we're going to have to look at that because that seems weird. Namaste, you're going to have to look back at the stream, my man, because maybe... Oh, he crashed in the last chicane. I didn't even catch it. I did not even catch it. My goodness. Well, there you go. Namaste Maru in 2nd. JB Racer in 3rd. B-Fife in 4th. I Am Stanley 5th. Paris finishes up 6th with Outer Known in 7th. Lucky Lambert in 8th. Waiver Frame and Kipster round out your top 10. 100%. But like I said, I didn't even catch that. Honestly, did not see JB. I thought he was crossing ahead of you. But we missed that completely. But such is the troubles of Xbox racing and trying to cover it because you can't see everything the way it should. So I want to thank everybody for joining me today. My name is Adam. We are back tomorrow for PC ACC racing right here at Box 3 Motorsports. We will be here starting at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. UTC. Thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I appreciate every one of the drivers too. You guys put on a great show today. Excellent racing. Great job from all the drivers. We saw a lot of people recover from things that they probably normally would, someone like me would get frustrated and maybe quit or sit in the pits for the rest of the race. A lot of the drivers today stuck with it and ended up gaining a lot of positions. So again, thank you everybody for being here. Thank you to all the drivers, and we will see you guys tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow for PC ACC racing at Barcelona. Talk to you soon.